Appreciate everybody being here. I know it's late in the day. It's great to see such a large audience here. Hi, we're Ncontracts, a RegTech focused exclusively on financial services with over 4,000 fintechs, banks, credit unions, and mortgage companies that use our platform to manage their operational risk and compliance. My name is Bill Simpson, Chief Technology of Ncontracts, and this is Michael Carpenter, or Carp as we call him, a solution architect and risk manager at Ncontracts. So a little story, in my last gig, I worked for Ingo Money, which was a faster payments fintech. And one of my favorite things to do as Chief Technology and Product Officer there was to work with our sponsor banks to understand our compliance obligations and our regulatory obligations that were pressed upon us as a result of the relationship that we had with the sponsor bank. See, we couldn't do anything without a sponsor bank helping us to move money. And we loved it so much, it was so much fun, that we actually got a second sponsor bank because who would not want more regulatory compliance burden put upon them, especially when there's conflict between the two standards. They were concerned about their safety, and they should be, because that's important for banks and credit unions. And we were concerned about building a product, and as a fintech, all I really wanted to do was move as fast as possible. Both of those things are important, and it's critical for fintechs to be able to show their compliance and their regulatory posture in order to gain banking customers. So we spent hundreds of hours doing this work, and frankly, it was exhausting. When I came to Ncontracts, I wanted to find a better way for our customers. I wanted to build a solution that would help us to simplify it and make it so that banks and credit unions could work with their fintech partners to understand their complex compliance work. And that's what we do with NComply. And we also have another solution that we'll be showing you, which helps you with your third-party risk management, which is NVendor. Carp, take it away.
Thanks, Bill. Now, first, we're in the NComply solution, and we're going to dive into the reg updates, specifically the safeguards rule, and this is as it applies to fintechs.
Oh, that's right, because the safeguard rule now does apply to fintechs, and I do not envy my partners in fintechs because we had a lot of stuff that we had to do, but nobody was coming directly after us, and now they might.
Exactly, Bill. So in the reg updates, which are actually very specific to you as a user, right, we'll consider who you are, the products and services that you offer. And in this case, again, the FTC regulation safeguards rule applying to mortgage businesses and fintechs needs to be summarized. You need to understand and digest that information. Now, Ncontracts actually curates a summary for every reg update that occurs, whether it be federal and or state level. Now, the summary removes all legalese so that you can very quickly and easily understand the information.
That's huge, man, because as a fintech, we did not have an army of compliance lawyers working for us that could interpret that information. So getting that in straightforward English, that is pretty awesome.
You can actually download this summary and you can share it internally or to your partner institution.
Oh, so I can actually show them what we're doing to comply.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
So now I'm going to go into the action plan. Another big change here, or a benefit to you, is the fact that Ncontracts creates a proposed or sample action plan that you might apply to enact or deploy these various changes.
That's interesting because one of the biggest problems we had at a fintech was actually getting noticed by our sponsor banks. They wanted to know the things we were going to do. In fact, I heard a stat from a couple of our customers that they pick 1 out of every 35 fintechs to work with, and another one said 1 out of 70, and that is an atrocious number. But the primary reason was the fintechs couldn't show them what they were doing to comply with regulations. So having these action plans must be super helpful for them.
For sure, Bill. Actually, and if we open up one of these tasks, I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, you can set an expected due date. I can assign individuals. I've assigned you a task, Bill.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let me go find that task that you assigned us. Let me pull up my phone. Tasks, recent activity, implementing policies and procedures, what we were just looking at. Let me view the task details. So I can actually, viewing these task details, I can respond to Michael right through my phone here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm done with this because I don't want to do this anymore. And we'll just say, thanks, Carp. Check that doc.
Great.
And when you go back into the app, you're going to see that information. Oh, look, it's complete.
The task is complete. I see that Bill has responded to me.
And Carl's going to check that due.
It's important to note that the importance here is the centralization of data, making you able to easily access what you addressed in a change, what you did to deploy that change, and then again, and communicate those changes.
So I just did the work. Now I can articulate that to my sponsor bank friends and to any regulator that I might be working with.
Exactly. when it comes to articulation, Bill, I want to be able to actually communicate the things that I did, I was aware of, what I did to do those things. This is an example of a report. Again, the summary that we curated. No legalese, makes it easy to digest.
Sure.
The information, like how much did it cost us or how long did it take us, all the tasks that we did, right? Not just simply just to state that we did something, but to actually show what we did.
That's super important because with all your internal and external stakeholders, I know I had to provide a boatload of reporting to our sponsor banks.
Now I'm going to go into a requirements builder. So the products and services that you offer into your partner banks, you want to be able to state that I know what you need to comply with as an institution. On the right-hand side, very quickly, I think it's important that you see that through the ability to filter specifics, like what is the particular product that I want to have information on. In this case, it's 1 to 4 family residential. I also want to understand specific aspects of compliance, maybe application, customer notice, and the like. And I can create a checklist here in the solution.
So what you're showing me is everything that I might actually have to do to comply. And that's important information because when I'm working with my sponsor bank, I need to actually show them that I understand my compliance obligations. When you're working with multiple banks, you want to make sure that you're the one driving that and not them. So look, we're running out of time here. If you're a fintech, you're contributing risk to your customers. And I can tell you right now, having watched most of the demos today, most of the fintechs in the room today are actually high-risk vendors, and you're contributing that risk to your fintech or to your sponsor banks as well as to any customer that you work with. Ncontracts understands that. We do risk management for thousands of banks across the country, and they trust us. So if you want help with your compliance obligations as a fintech, come see us. If you want help as a sponsor bank, come see us, and we'd be glad to talk to you. Thank you very much.